Esau was a cunning hunter, man of the field. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Now, you take that one word, and I've said this myself, that Esau would be classified as a man's man. And in this modern day, he probably would. He'd have been a hunter and a fisherman, and he'd have been an outdoorsman. He'd have been out, frog gigging when I was a kid, sleeping in tents, and that's what I did. I mean, I enjoyed the outdoors. I like fishing and hunting, and I like, I'd go out and just shoot possums just to be shooting something, I didn't go possum hunting. I just blow them out of the trees. Oh, look at that thing fall. Watch that thing fall. That's cruel. I didn't have much of a heart that day. I just, whatever moved, I killed. Amen.
Violent. Could he be violent?
Only if people were violent to him. I can be violent also, and I imagine so can you. You see, that's the whole story of America. They take their violence and turn it back around on somebody else. I don't have to talk about American violence. You can look all over the world and see American soldiers everywhere fighting in other people's countries and killing them. So if I were running the country in America, I wouldn't open my mouth about violence. As many people as they've murdered in Vietnam in the past 10 years, and they're going to talk about violence. As many black people that get killed every day in this country and nobody knows or cares, and they're going to tell me about violence. How they wiped out a whole nation of Indians, and they're going to say something to me about violence. I don't want to hear it.
Was he violent? Could he be violent?
Only if people were violent to him. I can be violent also, and I imagine so can you. You see, that's the whole story of America. They take their violence and turn it back around on somebody else. I don't have to talk about American violence. You can look all over the world and see American soldiers everywhere fighting in other people's countries and killing them. So if I were running the country in America, I wouldn't open my mouth about violence. As many people as they've murdered in Vietnam in the past 10 years, and they're going to talk about violence. As many black people that get killed every day in this country and nobody knows or cares, and they're going to tell me about violence. How they wiped out a whole nation of Indians, and they're going to say something to me about violence. I don't want to hear it.
Rob and Karen, the Jacksonville sheriff, calling this a racially motivated shooting in which the suspect detailed a, quote, disgusting ideology of hate in writings prior to the shooting. The suspect's parents tried to call and warn police, but at that point, authorities say he'd already began shooting.
It's just something that should not and must not continue to happen in our community.
Saturday afternoon, a gunman armed with an AR-style rifle and handgun, outfitted in a tactical vest, walked into a Dollar General in a predominantly black neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida, with one motive.
He targeted a certain group of people, and that's black people. That's what he said he wanted to kill.
Police described the suspect as a white male in his early 20s. He allegedly shot 3 black people, 2 men and 1 woman, before turning the gun on himself.
The people in this community, they're hurting, and they have every right to. This makes no sense. I am very, very angry right now.
Investigators say the suspect lived with his parents in Clay County and texted his father before the shooting to check his computer. On it were racist writings.
Portions of these manifestos detail the shooter's disgusting ideology of hate. Plainly put, this shooting was racially motivated, and he hated black people. He wanted to kill. That's the one and only time I'll use that word.
The sheriff sharing photos of the guns used, one of which appeared to have swastikas on it. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis releasing a video statement calling the shooting a very cowardly act.
This shooting, based on the manifesto that they discovered from the scumbag that did this, was racially motivated. He was targeting people based on their race. That is totally unacceptable.
This happened all while thousands of people were marching today in our nation's capital for the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. Reverend Al Sharpton and the King family releasing this statement saying in part, quote, such bigotry should have no place in our society. It is a reminder that the hate-fueled violence that Dr. King called out 60 years ago and that we condemned today from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial aren't antiquated concerns, but remain a clear and present danger that threatens us all. And the White House says President Biden was briefed on today's deadly shooting in Jacksonville. The FBI says it has opened a federal civil rights investigation and will pursue this as a hate crime.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad. Another video, another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, first and foremost, Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash. Alright, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. No more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites. Shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatiyam, which is his sisters. Alright. The name of this lesson is simple. The violent man. Alright, the violent man. And who else? Who else is the violent man? None other than, the so-called white man. Alright, nobody could be more violent than Esau, the so-called white man. Alright. Nobody carries out more violence upon the face of the earth. Through the face of the earth, bring anarchy and hardship and oppression, upon the face of the earth, such as the so-called white man. Nobody has committed more genocide. Alright, genocidal act, kill out whole nation of people and all these things. More than the so-called white man. Nobody has orchestrated and funded, if they haven't carried out the act themselves, but orchestrated and funded the acts of genocide. More than the so-called white man. Alright, whose biblical nationality is Esau, Edom. Alright? That's their nature. Their nature is to be violent. Alright? Their nature is to be wicked. Which goes back to, I think it's Psalms 13 and 17, boy. Let me see. Bear with me here. I think I'll have to type it in. No. Oh. Let me see Psalm 17, 13. Let me see. Yeah, it's actually that. Psalm 17 and 13. Alright, Psalm 17 and 13, where it reads, O Lord, arise, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, disappoint him. Cast him down. Who is the him? Esau, the so-called white man. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Alright? Because these people, alright, these people are the sword of the Most High. These people are the wicked. Alright? And these people, they make good use of their blessing, because the sword is their blessing. Alright? And they make good use of it. Here you had Christopher Columbus, aka Cristobal Colon, on his deathbed, that's paraphrasing his saying, on his deathbed, where he was like, he would want to be remembered as a man who never put down his sword, not for one day. Alright, not for one day. And we all know We all know the atrocious acts that he had done unto the Northern Kingdom, which is the so-called Native Americans, you know. The Aztecas, the Mayans, the Incas, you know, which is our brothers and sisters of the Northern Kingdom. We all know what they have done unto the Gadites. You know, Andrew Jackson and these guys, we all know what they have done unto the Gadites and unto the Reubenites. Alright, which is the so-called Seminole Indians and the Native American Indians. Alright. How they slaughter millions of them. Alright, remove them off their lands. Hence they had some called what the Trail of Tears and the Indian Removal Act and all these nonsense. Alright, all this wickedness. Alright, slaughtered out all the buffaloes. Alright. How they slaughtered a lot of our people, millions of our people. Alright, by giving us some blankets infested with smallpox. And what have you. They are violent. They are violent by nature. Alright, and yet still, just as you see, that's as the video that I did the other day concerning with the prison industrial complex and whatnot, where that Edomite trying to come out with pseudoscience, alright, to try to put Jake being more violent. Alright, Jake being more violent than them and whatnot, so forth. You know, Negroes is more violent people. We never went to the four corners of the earth colonizing. Alright, and stealing lands and all these things. And still doing to this day. We never did that. But you see, there is a thing with Esau, you know. There is a thing with Esau. They are the ones that will go about doing all the mass slaughtering and whatnot, so forth, and then will want to put the wool over people's eye and act like they are the victims. That's Esau for you. That's the so-called white man for you. Here it is, they're going all about over the world doing all this wickedness, and yet still they can be able to convince the world that the so-called black man is the most dangerous thing upon the face of the earth. Alright? But we don't go into schools. We don't go into schools. We don't go into schools and perform mass shootings, go into malls, perform mass shootings, and we don't do these things. That's not Jake. That's not Jake's style. Jake might kill each other. Yeah, Jake go kill each other, gang bang on each other. But Jake can go. Jake have a phobia for coming up against you all. That just goes to shows. You all are violent people, man. You all are violent people. Yeah. What they call it again, the devil's punch bowl and all these things. I'm sorry I didn't share that video, and I should have shared that video. Or I could have put that in the clip and all. You know. Hey, but let's get into a little bit of scriptures here, you know. Let's get into some scriptures here. Alright. Because these people are the violent, they are violent, the violent man. The violent man. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Psalms 58, and I'll go in at verse 2. Yeah, Psalms 58 and 2, it reads, Yea, in heart you work wickedness, you wear the violence of your hands in the earth, throughout the whole earth. Alright? Throughout the whole earth. These people rain violence and wickedness. Alright? That's why I want to go to Habakkuk. You take a look at Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Straight to the point. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Alright, that's why they wear the violence throughout the whole earth. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeneth his desire as hell, yeah, and is as death. Everywhere this man steps his foot and everything that this man puts his hands on is as hell. It end up coming to what? Total 100% hellish conditions, and it's just death. It brings death. Alright? That is why well, I like that part in this movie. I would like to take in, something I feel tonight, if I get a chance, I might take it in on the plantation. The first Planet of the Apes. Yeah? Beware the beast man. Yeah, beware the beast man, for they are what? They are the harbinger of death. That's roughly paraphrasing. I wonder if, and the last time I went into that, let me see if I could get that meaning. I only hope I will spell it correctly. Yes, because I looked it up last time. Yeah? Harbinger. Alright? A person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. Well, let me see something here. Alright? Alright? So it says here, yeah, they what? It goes into what? A signal to indication. Alright? Yeah, proper synonyms here. To herald. Alright, they are the ones that herald. Herald violence upon the face of the earth. Alright? Indication. You want to know who is the devil? You want to know who is the one that bringing total anarchy upon the face of the earth? You want an indication? Look at the so-called white man on their track record. Alright? To signal, to prelude, precursor, forerunner, to usher. Alright? And what are ushering right now? What are they ushering in right now? Yeah? The Great Reset, the New World Order, right? And how that is going to come about? You feel that is going to come about by peace and and proper dialogue, and no. It is going to come by the way of mass death, mass genocide, mass slaughter upon the people worldwide. Okay? Worldwide. Yeah? There's what it is. So what? Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Yeah, because these people cannot be satisfied. And you see what makes them even more violent is because they are flipping greedy. Alright? That is what makes them even more violent. Is because of their greed. Yeah? Their greed. Which goes back to Psalm 73. Let's take a look at it. Psalm 73, and I will start from verse 3. Psalm 73 and 3. It reads, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Yeah, for there are no bands in their debt, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men." Why? Because they are what? They are the rulers of the earth, right? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? Job 9 and 24. Alright, they are the ones that bring trouble unto the world. Alright, the world is bringing trouble unto them. Because according to Revelation 13, and I think it's verse 4 or 5, where it speaks about what? Who can make war with the beast? Alright, who can make war with the beast? Which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Mainly speaking about what? EU and NATO. Wow. Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore what? Pride compasseth them about as a chain, because they are prideful in all what they have achieved by their wicked deeds, by their violent means. Alright, they are prideful about it. All right? They are prideful about it. They pride their violence. They pride their violence and equating it to what? To bringing peace. All right? They pride their violence by going into Afghanistan and Iraq and bringing death and hell upon the people. All right? And camouflage it as what? As they are bringing peace upon the face of the earth by invading these people's lands, stealing their natural resources, all right, and bringing them under hellish conditions, all right, waging war against these people, all right, all in the name of democracy. Yeah, violence covered them as a garment. All right, they wear violence like clothes. See, like how you put on clothes every single day. All right, well, they put out violence every single day. The so-called white man. You can't take that away from them. That's their nature. That's what they were created to do. All right? Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They don't care. That is what I just say, you know. They put forth their violence and try to convince you that they need to perform these violent acts in order to bring peace. Take, for example, the New World Order. Order out of chaos, right? Order of chaos. Right? There's where it is. Alright? They set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, hath the Most High know? And is there any knowledge in the Most High? Yeah. Because they're so prideful, and you know they've been going about this over the centuries, over the millennial, a whole millennial. Alright? Over a whole millennial, and you know, they haven't been judged for it as yet. So hey, they're like, you know, hence the reason why you're seeing them even more bold and calling themselves gods, and they are going to become gods and whatnot, so forth, so forth. And what they say, if anybody comes in our way in us becoming gods, they're going to eliminate you, right? So that speaks volumes by itself, right? That alone speaks volumes by itself. Yeah? Because this is these people, what you ought to understand, this is these people. Let's take a look at Genesis. This is these people. Yeah? These people are a bunch of freaking, I don't know if it's schizophrenic. I don't think schizophrenic is the word to use now, boy, but whew. Let's take a look at Genesis 27:37. Genesis 27:37. It reads, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau. This is concerning the blessings and whatnot, so forth, so forth. All right, you all know what they're speaking about. All right. Behold, I have made him thy Lord, which is Jacob, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. You understand? Yeah? Yeah. And that's why, you know, they have they have all the rich places, the good places living in and whatnot, so forth, so forth. You understand what I'm coming from? You know? Yeah. Yeah, all the goodly places to live at and whatnot, so forth. Whilst Jake in the squalor conditions, hey, trading places just not going to take place, right? Alright? Verse 40, the point, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Alright? And by thy sword shalt thou live. And thou shalt serve thy brother. Alright? And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Alright? But the point there, and by thy sword, right, shalt thou live. And this is how they are living. This is how they manage to gain everything that they have gained. Alright? Through the sword, through violence. They didn't get it by peaceful means, on hard work, and as they make you to believe. No. All what they have achieved, all what they have gotten, is ill-gotten gains by the what? By the sword. Alright? By the sword. Okay? Verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Alright? And, hey, this has been playing out from ever since, man. From ever since, man. Alright? Because they have a perpetual hatred for us. Pursuant to Ezekiel 35. And I will start at verse 1. Alright? And they have been showing it by the way of what? Their blessing. That perpetual hatred that they have for us, they've been showing it by what? By their blessing. Alright? Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, and Mount Seir is speaking about is what? America. Alright? America. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. This is what is coming to America. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai. Why, Lord? Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual, never-ending, everlasting hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, saith the Lord. Seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. I will come back to this, because I'm going to tie this in with Numbers 35, 33. Numbers 35, 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed by the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And they have not hated blood, they shed blood, innocent blood, millions of innocent people all over the world, but mainly in America, where they kill northern and southern kingdom jakes, like, you know, like if it is wild turkey shooting. Alright? So what? Seeing that you have not hated blood, alright? Right? Even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, Mr. Violent Man? Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Thermonuclear fire. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword, which is what? Everywhere that you Edomites dwell. You know, within Babylon the Great, death, bloodshed is coming to meet you. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast said, these two nations And these two countries shall be mine, which is Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, America, and Israel, the land of Israel, shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. But this is a promise that the Lord promised you all. Verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used upon thy hatred against them, against the children of Israel, and I will make myself known amongst them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume, which goes back to Lamentations 2 and 15. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me, and I have heard them. Yeah. Verse 14, thus saith the Lord, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. Yeah, because you all are going to get Obadiah 1 and 18. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, which is Esau, Edom, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord. They shall know it. Because you all been going, and the thing about it, it is not just the Lord, we know that Jake is the fervent lover of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the apple of his eye, whatnot, so forth. But don't get it twisted. The Lord is watching what you all have been doing all throughout the earth, not just only to Israel, but all throughout the earth. All right? Now you all are going to get dealt with in the most highest case for what you all have done unto the children of Israel, but don't feel that you're not going to get judged for what you have done unto all the earth, all the people of the earth. Including to what you have been doing to your own people and all. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is a righteous judge. As much as, yes, he is going to deal with you all for what you are, because, hey, the Lord will love Jacob and yet choose Israel, whatnot, so that's roughly paraphrasing. All right, but don't feel you're going to get away. You're not going to be held accountable for what you have done upon all the earth, all the people of the earth, the animals. Yeah? Hear what the Edomites say? And hey, that's Esau confessing the first video clip that I played. He letting you know in subliminal message that they know they are freaking Edomites. Yeah, we say he liked to go outdoors because that was the characteristics of Esau that the scripture in Genesis was describing. Alright? He loved to go outdoors, he loved to hunt, he loved to go out and hunt. Yeah? He loved to kill possums for killing them, just for killing them sake. Because that is the nature of Esau. Yeah, all the animals, you all going to Africa and killing out the elephants for the ivory, killing out the lions, killing out the rhinos, till they're going near extinct. Certain animals going extinct because of you, Esau, Edom. Violence. These people needs to be eradicated off the face of the earth in truth. Ain't no mistake about that. Yeah? When I go to Isaiah 14, and I think it's from 6, I will start from Isaiah 14 and 6, yeah. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. This is what he did. This is what he been doing. This is what he is doing. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it, yeah? The whole earth is at rest. Yeah? Nobody is going to come. Nobody is going to come, which goes back to the is Wisdom of Solomon 12, I think. Let me see if I can get hard copy first. I'm going to just make sure I get hard copy first. To prove a point. To prove a point. Come on, I went a bit too far here. Alright, so Wisdom of Solomon. It's 12, yes, but I want to be here. 12 and 12. I will start from there. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 12. I will come back to that Isaiah. Just bear with me. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 12. I just want to draw a point. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 12, because remember in the Isaiah it speaks about a non-hindereth, right? When persecution cometh upon you, non-hindereth, the whole earth is going to rejoice, is going to be at rest, whatnot, so forth. All right, because this is the judgment cometh upon you from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 12. For who shall say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish whom thou hast made? Yeah? Esau, Edom, perfect example. Right? Who's going to accuse him for the perishing of Esau, Edom, which is the judgment that is going to come upon them? Who's going to accuse the Most High? Alright? And call him unjust. Or who shall stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous men? Who is going to stand up for Esau, Edom, when they're being judged, when they're being eradicated, all right, and exterminated? Who's going to stand up for them? Who's going to advocate for them? Who's going to play Johnny Cochran for them? Yeah, I think it was Johnny Cochran was his name. All right, the big lawyer for Mike Tyson. All right, verse 13. For neither is there any power but thou that cared for all Israel, to whom thou mightest shew that thy judgment is not unright. Neither shall king, this is the point, neither shall king or tyrant be able to set his face against thee, for any whom thou hast punished. Yeah, for any whom thou hast punished. For so much then as thou art righteous thyself, thou orderest all things righteously, thinketh it not agreeable with thy power to condemn him, right? But hath not that had not deserved to be punished. Yeah? Yeah, so going back to the verse 15, verse 14, no king or tyrant will be able to set his face against thee, against the Most High, when he has punished Esau. So going back to the Isaiah, and when they get the punishment according to verse 15, it shows you that it will be well deserved, right? So the Isaiah 14, and I think it was verse 7, alright? Verse 7, Isaiah 14 and 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing when this man has been taken out. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. The whole earth is going to rejoice and be rejuvenated, be refreshed, and happy that this man is no longer upon the face of the earth. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Yeah? Or even all the chief ones of the earth it had raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? This is when you get your judgment. Alright? The nation is going to be, well, look how weak this man get. All this pomp and might this man had and whatnot, so forth. All this technology and all these things that, you know, he pride himself with. Look at him now. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Alright? Which is what? The whole society is in a decayed state. America is decaying from within. You understand? America is slowly decaying from within. Alright? Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is breaking down America structurally. You know? So that when the time is ripe, you know, it's just for them to just crumble and fall. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, O son of the morning, which is who? The Illuminati, the upper echelons of these Edomites. Thou art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weakenest the nations. Yeah, because this is what is coming for you all. Because the same way how you brought violence upon the people is the same way violence is going to come back and haunt you. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake his kingdoms? Yeah? That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities that open up not the houses of his prisoners? Violence, violence, violence this man live upon, thrive upon. All the kings of the nations, even all them that lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with his sword that go down to the stones of a pit, as carcasses trodden underfoot. All right, you can go on and read the rest. You know, the rest going into prepare slaughter for his children, whatnot, so forth. You know, but there is what it is, man. This is what it is. That's why when you go to you don't might think it's a game. All right. What do you see? Let me see what the Lord had to say. Yeah? No, I wouldn't come with this yet. Go to Galatians first. Galatians 6:7. Yeah, be not deceived. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall reap of the flesh corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And we know for a fact you all there never reap of the Spirit. So we don't know what's going on with you all there, right? Right? Because why? 2 Thessalonians what? 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And this is what is going to come upon you all. Death, destruction, mourning, slavery, and after that, eradication and extermination. Yeah? Annihilation, eradication, extermination. Kal halayam la alahayanawa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Akaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone at true well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preaching, teaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatiam. The violent man, boy, the violent man, but don't worry, you have some coming for you. Best believe that. Some coming for you. Anyhow, shalom to the hopeful elect. Wa bad ball. Deck to Esau.